still remember how it used to be. Holding hands, running wild and free. Crossed our hearts, said we'd never let go. I still think about our younger days, how we dreamed about a better life. Holding you so close to me, in the backseat of your ride. We fell apart, thought we lost everything, just lost in a memory. And I sure hope you do remember me like I remember you. Like I remember you. Like I remember you. We drew our names in the pavement, thinking about how we never changed. I still remember how it used to be. I still think about our younger days, how we dreamed about a better life. Holding you so close to me, in the backseat of your ride. We fell apart, thought we lost everything, just lost in a memory. And I sure hope you do remember me like I remember you. Like I remember you.
Bow. Starting soon, lads. Still gotta go get a drink. Oh my god.
Thought we lost everything, just lost in a memory. And I sure hope you do remember me.
I'm also thinking about posting my stream to the Reddit thing I just did. Wondering. Good afternoon, Chris, Liam. So am I. How's it going, lads? Right, I'm gonna go get a drink and then we'll start, okay? You guys have time to get a drink. Give me 2 seconds.
Something strange hit me.
Susie. Hello. Alright, let's do it. Let's go. Let's just go. Let's turn that down. Why is that? Anyway. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Monday After Stream. I'm FPL, this is Thursday, and it has been a hell of a week. How is everyone doing? It's been, oh, no one saw that. The team was up the whole time. How is everyone doing? We've had a bit of stuff going on. Yeah, everything seems to be working. Everything's working okay. Alright, awesome. Time to begin. Hope everyone did better than me for game week 35. Did I stream last week? I think I did stream last week, right? And I had like 2 red cards, 2 Brighton players. I had not a lot of luck in the in game week 34, and I was pretty disappointed. And I thought I didn't know what to do for ages, and I worked on it, and I tinkered, and realized that I'm probably going to need to take a big hit. And the big hit was the biggest hit that I've actually taken all season. Which was a -12. So that's what I decided to do, and although I did manage to get that 100 points in the end, that big 100 club, obviously it came at -12, and I actually figured it out today. I could have done even better. I think I was 16 points worse off for making those hits. Foster, his clean sheets were gone. Ericsson got that last minute goal, which meant that he actually did better than Sterling, who I brought in instead, and Ryan got his clean sheet. So even though I had Dini and changed him for Firmino, Firmino didn't do much, and only next week will he cover that cost for the hit. So a bit disappointed with how it went. But you know, you can't be that disappointed. I did set up okay. Ederson, Vertonghen, Doherty. Aguero even got something, and the bench boost brought 13 points, which is like, at least it's easy to beat next season, right? Your bench boost 13 points, you don't expect that. You expect much better. But anyway, and also the bench boost, just to touch on that, Ward-Prowse, I'm pretty sure he played in Valerie's position because Valerie was sick for one of the games and half the second game, so it was just all together. There was quite a lot of things going on. Ederson being my player of the week, he actually looked on fire. He's probably one of the best keepers of the whole weekend, or the double game weeks. He just was on fire. I'm pretty sure that City were the only people to keep a double clean sheet. He kept Son at bay, even though Son was playing out his mind and probably should have scored at least 1 goal. And then the second time, like, there was a few hairy situations despite Man United's iffiness. He still managed that save, right, for Rashford. So altogether, I'm not too annoyed. Before game week 34, I was 700th or something, 600th in the world, and now I'm sitting in 2,100. So it definitely didn't go to plan. It actually went a lot worse. But we've got 3 game weeks left, and hopefully I can make that up, and hopefully you guys can hit whatever goals you're looking forward to. Getting into maybe the top 10k, top 100k, whatever you guys are working on. There's still plenty of time to do that, unless you're like a millionth and you're looking to get into the top 10k. You might have just missed out this season. But yeah, there is still time. That's not us done. Okay, so I'm 2,000. I could probably still maybe hit top 1k. If you're just outside the top 10, you might be able to do something. So we'll see what's happening. Liam says, not the best of weeks. Personally, got ill and cracked my phone screen, but FPL, why? All good. No, you broke your phone, but you did okay at FPL. That's hilarious. I'm really sorry about your phone. And obviously you're ill as well. I hope you feel better. Tom, Tom Robinson got 99 points, like one point away. If it makes you feel any better, I actually only got like 88 technically. Wasn't the best weeks for me either, but like, yeah, no, 99 points with maybe even no hits or a -4, like, you're still flying, right? You're way above the average. But that's the thing, like, this is the highest average. I'm actually going to show you guys this now, right? That is the highest average, where are we, that I have seen this year. Look at that, 91k. I'm just going to jump into this mode. 91 top 10 average, and that's my points with a hit, with the 12 hit, right? That is a big jump considering I hit 100, even with a -12. The difference is not even that much, but like, that is mental. How are you supposed to hit that, right? But yeah, definitely 99 is way over the top K average. So anyone who hit over that without taking hits, that's incredible. Well done to you guys. So yeah, let's go over what's happening today in the stream. Recap 35, we've pretty much done that. Oh, 35 recap. That should say 34 recap. And you guys know that we here at FPL Dave's Monday after stream are pristine, and that never happened. We always have our shit organized. It said 34 the whole time. Okay, hold on. Right, Game Week 34 recap, done, dusted, we're good. We all happy with Game Week 34 or not? Oh no, wait, it was 35. What am I talking about? It said 35 the whole time. I was right the whole time. Don't you worry, guys. Losing my mind a bit. There. So yeah, Game Week 35 recap done. Game Week 36 to 38, we're going to go through some of the players. Triple captain, which everyone is looking into doing. I'm going to tell you what I think and what I want to do and what I might do and what I wish I could do if I had big enough bravery. And then we'll look at some viewer RMTs to finish the show. First things first, let's just look at Liverpool and let's just look at City going into game week 36. So obviously, as you can tell, I have 3 of each. I expect everyone to have 3 of each. You guys have just figured out that I'm talking absolute rubbish with that 35-36. My apologies. It's been a long day at work. It is game week 36 next week. It was game week 35, and I messed up a bit with that 34 thing. Apologies. I have 3. I have Sterling, Aguero, and Ederson, and I have Robertson, Mane, and Firmino. Now, a tiny bit I wish I had Trent Alexander-Arnold. The reason why I went for Firmino is because his stats are just too good to ignore for strikers, and I had enough money to go for someone who was that much. Obviously, Trent Alexander-Arnold got a clean sheet and got an assist, so it would have been better in hindsight. But going forward, I thought that, Cardiff and Huddersfield at least would be, a good attacking fixture. However, Cardiff seemed to be quite difficult to break down, quite difficult to do anything against. And then I realised that it's not good enough just to do what I've done all season and go with the fixtures, just fixtures. So I've gotten to rank 2164 of being lucky, following the fixtures and doing research on players. Fixtures don't count anymore if the teams are fighting for a certain place, whether that be avoiding relegation, like Brighton, Cardiff, Southampton. I think Burnley's okay now. Fighting for 4th place or European football, so Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. I'm pretty sure Tottenham are okay right now, but they still need to work their ass off to keep 3rd. And then you also have the Watford Wolves thing. So I don't know if you guys know, and I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, if you win the EFL or the EPL, whatever it's called, the the thing that Man City won already, then and they finish first or whatever in the top four, they've already got Champions League, so then and European football, so it passes down to sixth place. Then if they also win the FA Cup, then that means seventh place also get European football. So that means that Wolves and Watford are 1 point difference away from seventh place. They'll be fighting for that, so you can rest assured they'll also be going nuts trying to get as many points as possible. So there's a vast majority of teams that are kind of in the same zone. They're not really fighting for much, but there are teams out there that are going to be doing their best to just stop all, on paper suggestion of wins or losses. Arsenal versus Brighton, that's dodgy now, because Brighton, as shown against Spurs, played super defensively, nearly got that 1 point, that clean sheet, and Eriksen kind of ruined it for me, for everyone, for Brighton, mostly me. So thanks Eriksen. But yeah, another one, Crystal Palace versus Cardiff. That might be dodgy simply because Cardiff are going to be doing the exact same as Brighton did against Spurs. So Firmino didn't really do the damage against Cardiff as much as I thought he would. Going forward, they don't have difficult fixtures. Liverpool have the best fixtures, actually, I think, or second best fixtures. I've got the fixtures ready. Southampton, then Man United, then Liverpool, Fulham, so on and so forth, right? Liverpool have Huddersfield, Newcastle, and Wolves. Wolves is going to be iffy. Newcastle should be okay because they're safe and they don't really need to do much, and then Huddersfield are already gone. I'm expecting loads of goals. If I could go back, I would absolutely get two defenders, probably Van Dijk actually, because Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson both look really, really tired, more so TAA, but Van Dijk is their pillar, their centre, so we're expecting him, like Laporte, like other centre backs, to keep playing 19 minutes. The Mane Salah thing, I looked at the stats. I don't own Salah, so it's a lot easier for me to pick Mane for captain, or for triple captain if that need be. For people who have both of them, it's so tight, and it could go so right or so wrong. They could both get a goal, one could get a hat-trick and one could get nothing. So it really is a toss-up, and I was listening to FPL General's 59th minute podcast, and if you don't listen to that, you probably should, because he is really, really good at just plain talk and no nonsense, unlike this stream where we just talk nonsense most of the time, but he did really make a good point that it is absolutely a toss-up between Salah and Mane. And on top of that, I had a look at the stats today, and it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, Salah still takes more shots, Mane's more accurate, etc, etc, etc. So if you have both of them and you make the wrong call, it wasn't your fault. It's really difficult not to do it with Salah if you've got him. We've come to expect it from him, even though he had a wee bit of a dip there. People were still captaining him every single week, and Mane's really kind of the new kid on the block. Having said that, now that Salah's back, he has 19 goals, Aguero has 19 goals, and Aubameyang has 19 goals, and Mane has 18 goals, and that's for the golden boot, right? So they're all going to be fighting for that, which is something to take into consideration for potential. Obviously Mane has been quite selfish for the whole season. He just does it. It's just kind of his thing, right? But will this make it even more so? Will he start shooting and missing more? I don't know. You don't have to take that into consideration, but it is something to think about, that they're both now in contention for that golden boot. If Mane scores 2 more times and the others don't score at all, he's won that over Salah, one of the best wingers in the world. So I don't know if that would sway you. It definitely probably would sway me, but I've been overthinking for the last 3 weeks and it's ruined my rank, so take that as what you will. Let's talk about City. City don't have as good of fixtures, but they're City. They're pretty ruthless. They should be scoring loads of goals no matter what. they've got Burnley, they've got Leicester, home, which everyone seems to think is a really, really good fixture for them for triple capping if you're not going to go. And I tend to agree if Leicester play the way they play normally, which is all out attack, because that leaves open space and Man City will just thrash them, right? But we haven't actually seen Brendan Rodgers play in the big time yet. And by that I mean he hasn't played the top 6 teams yet. Now, we know from Liverpool, we know from Celtic that to the detriment of his team, he will just play all out attack, and that is the type of manager. So it's safe to assume that he will still do that. But with Liverpool, he was, top 6. With Celtic, he was number 1, of course. But with Leicester's a, top 10 team. So it's not 100%. He might just park the bus for the first time in his entire career as a manager. We don't know. So that's actually one of the reasons why I don't like Vardy too much going forward. But we'll talk about that in a bit. As for City, it's a sure way. It's a sure way of a goal if for Sterling, for Aguero, for any attacking asset, as long as Brendan Rodgers plays Leicester the same. But they don't have too much of a difficult fixture. Like, I would say that Wolves are now a difficult fixture for Liverpool, whereas Man City have Burnley, who are safe, Leicester that are safe, only Brighton, and by the end of the season, by game week 38, I'm pretty sure if Cardiff don't win every game, then they're out anyway, and that makes Brighton safe, and it turns them into another on the beach, just let City roll us kind of team. So I'm hoping for that. But it's not certain, and obviously you don't want to wait till then if everyone is jumping on that triple captain thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. Options for City now are actually easier to call, in my opinion, than they ever have been in the season. Why is that? No Champions League. Champions League out the way. Focus on the Premier League. Title race, 1 point in it, must win every single game. Kevin De Bruyne injury. Recent games, minute suggestions. Now, obviously it's Pep, he can do whatever the hell he wants. He might take everyone out. I don't know what he's thinking, no one else does, but Sterling has played every minute in the last couple of games, and he looks amazing. There's no slowing up. I was super scared not having him in game week 34. Took a hit to bring him in for game week 35. That's how strongly I believe that he is an asset to own. Aguero has been doing the exact same thing he's been doing all season, playing every game that he's fit. The difference now is that he's not being taken off 60 minutes to make way for the FA Cup or the Champions League or the next game. He's just playing as much minutes as he can and might get substituted in the last 5. So that's huge. Bernardo Silva, we've known that he's constantly in the starting 11. He works his ass off. He looks great going forward, but he was always the assister of the assister, right? He was kind of the Ozil or whatever. But now he's been taking more touches in the box. He's been shooting more often. So he is actually an asset that you could do. If you want to triple up on their attack, then I would probably get Bernardo Silva. Sané is a no-go. He's too bench rotation heavy. I don't know what's happening because I think he's a great player. We all see what he can do, but you're going to bring him in and your heart's going to break and you're going to blame Pep, but it was you. Do not get Sané. Who's next? David Silva. It's kind of the same thing as it's always been. He could play 3 games in a row and then drop, or he could drop 3 games and then come and play 1. And if he does play that 1, is he going to score 2 goals and be amazing, which he does every 10 games? Or is he going to be the David Silva of, finding Sterling and in 40 yards of space, and then Sterling crosses it and you're thinking, Silva's amazing, but I got no points out of that. So I would probably go for, in order, attacking would be Sterling because he has a way form and Aguero doesn't really. Aguero and then Bernardo Silva, and everyone else is kind of rotation is risky. Mendy is also, unfortunately, a rotation risk. But if you have nothing to play for, you could bring him in as a punt. That might be quite fun. And you could bring Alonso in. And if you've got Robo, that's, the Holy Trinity reunion. You could do that. It's up to you. But he is a rotation risk, unfortunately, which is annoying because I had him eyed up in my ones to watch. Yep, MM saying that Delvo was not great this season like he was last season. I agree. If you want third City player and can't afford other mids, I think he's the best option. I agree. Yep. How do you feel about the cheaper City options like Bernardo Silva, covered it, and Gundogan? I don't like him because he's defensive minded and he doesn't get forward a lot, and it's the same thing as Neves. It's the same thing as Torreira of Arsenal. I'm just not into anyone who isn't like final third orientated. Not for me. Let's look at the Manchester City defence that you can get. Obviously, Laporte, Ederson. Laporte has that extra oomph, that extra potential corner, 5.5 million more than Ederson. That's the downside. You're putting a lot more money into just a potential to get a goal every couple of games. I've went for Ederson, and it kind of worked out, but obviously Laporte is that double game week god, and we must remember this for next season. He is just, for whatever reason, he just always seems to just do amazing, and it's annoying because I was like, Ederson's a good idea, and I'll get Vertonghen, and that's cheaper, and it allows me to go for blah 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 blah. But then you lose out on points because you don't have Laporte. So he is definitely the best defensive option. He's pretty much nailed now because he's got nothing to rest for, like I've talked about. And I would only now go for Ederson if you can afford it, but can't afford Laporte. Because, trading goalkeepers this late in the season's a bit of an iffy thing, and we'll come to the rules that I've kind of figured out while researching everything today for the end of the season games. Yeah. Other assets other than Man City and Liverpool. So we've got up there, we've got Wolves, and like I said, they're fighting for 6th place. They've been playing amazing. They kicked the shit out of Arsenal. It was incredible. They didn't manage to score against Brighton, but we're going to just take that as Brighton is also on the brink of relegation and they're fighting their ass off. I mean, Spurs only scored once, so we can forgive Wolves for that. Jota looks fantastic. He's now a shoe-in for next season, definitely. If you don't have him and you're looking for a player in the 6 million mark, say you have Richarlison, now he's injured, perfect. If you've got Pogba and you hate him, perfect. Double perfect. If you've got Martial or any other Man United player, and you want someone consistent, you want someone who's a shoe-in for the rest of the season, like Jota looks fantastic. As does Deulofeu. Deulofeu unfortunately doesn't have as good fixtures, but yeah, I think they're both great, and they both showed their class in the last games or two. Who else from Wolves? Okay, so Johnny has been doing amazing, and if you can't afford Doherty and you don't have him, I probably wouldn't spend 5.3 million on him, because for $1 million cheaper you can Johnny, who seems to be just as attacking these days. He's crossing a lot more than usual because Doherty's obviously in the box, unable to cross because he's on the end of freaking set pieces and all sorts of shit. But yeah, Johnny's got two assists, I'm pretty sure. So he, and for 4.3 million to get in on that, tremendous momentum that Wolves are picking up, that's pretty good. I don't like Neves or Moutinho or any of the other midfielders simply because it's the same as what I said for Gundogan. They're not 100% attacking minded, and we can't assume that Neves is going to get a free kick like that and score like that every single game week. But I mean, bench fodder, first coming off your bench maybe. But other than that, I'm not really looking for them at all. Last but not least, definitely not least, is your main man Jimenez. Said that right this time, Jimenez. I'm pretty sure. He is a rank killer. He is still a rank killer. He has missed point returns for about 3 games now, but he is... Look at that. Can you guys see that? 87% owned in the top 10k. He is the highest owned player in the top 10k in the game. That is a lot for a little man that plays for Wolves. He's just on fire, and yes, he only got 4 points, right? That's fine. But if he scores and you don't have him, that is an automatic red arrow. It's difficult to get around that. And I tried to do that for a number of months, and it didn't work. wild card, I bring him in. What happens? Three blanks. But it doesn't matter because he is now a shield. He is the biggest shield in the game. If you are up around the top 10k, you're looking to get in, even the top 100k. He is probably very, very highly owned, and you'll need him. If you don't have him and you're looking to kind of jump up the ranks, that is the biggest differential, just even not having him. But I'm in the position where I'm absolutely okay with finishing in 2164th. That's fine with me. My goal was top 100k, my first proper season of ever playing this game. And then when I got to the top 100k, I thought, right, let's go for top 10. And then everything after that is a bonus. And everything after that has been a bonus. But I'm always looking to improve. But for right now, in the last 3 game weeks, I'm just going to keep him. Okay, let's move on. He was a big captain fail for double game week. He absolutely was. You are right. It's annoying. I understand. I wish he did well because I had him as well. But that captaincy was a bit. It was rubbish because I mean he had great fixtures as well, right? But again, we have to consider now. Brighton is a no-go. We can't captain against Brighton anymore. Cardiff, the same thing. Pretty much like they're just playing so hard right now to try and stay in the Premier League. So yeah, we can't bet on those fixtures anymore. Let's move on. Let's look at Everton. Everton have been playing out of their minds. I don't know where it came from. No one knows. I'm assuming that they were going to sack their manager, and the manager came to the players and was like, I'm gonna lose my job. You guys play better. Please play better. And then 4-0 versus Man United. Another, 10 wins out of nowhere. Sigurdsson going off his nuts, shooting from miles out and scoring. Crossing out his mind. Digne, nothing better can be said about a player who can score free kicks, is on most set pieces, gets clean sheets and scores goals. He is the new Baines, and that's it. That's what they needed, and they have him now, and we all get rid of him, and then he does amazing, and we get rid of him for Leicester's Pereira. Oh, think about that right now. Oh, see, for hindsight, it is an absolute bitch. But yeah, so Everton look amazing, and their fixtures aren't that bad, right? Let's look at the fixtures again. Everton are at least these first 2 are not bad, because like I said, first of all, how amazing am I at drawing circles? But like I said, we don't really need to worry too much about teams who are already on the beach. They've got their sandals on, they're kicking it back, they don't really have to do anything. And even if Burnley lose all 3 of their games and Cardiff win all 3 of their games, which is very unlikely, Burnley have the better goal difference, even if they are on the same points. So Burnley should be okay, especially by game week 37. So that should be an easy game. Crystal Palace is a bit of an issue. But yeah, 4 more fixtures at this end of the season, and Everton are flying. So Siggy, great. Digne, great. If you can't afford any of them, Bernard, maybe. I can't see many people going back to Walcott. He got subbed in and then scored. But Richarlison's now out. I'm pretty sure he won't play. There's no point in them risking him for nothing really, just for form. It just so happened they're playing well, but I don't think they're actually fighting for anything. They might be close to getting 7th, but I doubt it, with the way that Wolves are playing. So with that in mind, Walcott might be an okay thing, but I am getting strong game week 3 vibes where you're going to bring Walcott in because Richarlison's out, and then he's going to do fuck all and everyone's going to lose their shit. That was great because I wasn't part of that train, but there are definite points that I got on the hype train and it absolutely derailed. What was another good one? Can anyone remember the good ones? Who was it? Barkley did amazing for 3 game weeks and then hasn't done great at all since. I think maybe he scored 1 goal since that. That was great. But yeah, it was Pereira. I think Pereira is my big one. Leicester defense. Oh my god. But we're past that. Are we back? Is that back? I don't know where it's back. Is that going to stream in the same one? But am I stream? Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Because there's like a cut. Right, I'm just going to do this and then see myself. I think you can hear me. Right, let me just link this back on the Twitter. Sorry about this, guys. We're back. We lost everyone. No. Somebody's here. It's here. Liam's here. Sorry about that, guys. My internet just decided to die. I don't know what I was talking about. I think I was just about to go into Man United. I was about to go into Man United. Because I have my notes. Alright. Man United have the best fixtures from game week 37 to game week 38. The best. They have Huddersfield and they have Cardiff. Now, unfortunately for me, I have been playing the fixtures this entire season and I am doing quite well. I have a really, really strong desire to bring in Man United players and I need someone to pull me off of the ledge that is OGS. I have enough money to do this. It's almost like it's fate. And people have kind of forgotten him because he was, you know, suspended. But I could do that for game week 30, for game week 37. That doesn't seem like bad to me. They're playing Huddersfield and they're playing Cardiff, and hopefully Cardiff are dead by the end of game week 38. So it means that you know, it's not going to be a difficult game. But this whole stream, well, not this whole stream, but the previous stream before my stream crashed and died and burned and is now dead. Before that, I was talking up the fact that we cannot ignore Brighton, Cardiff, and Southampton because they're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for the Premier League. So no one should bring in any Man United players because their form is shit, because they have bad fixtures, Chelsea and Cardiff. We just talked about how Cardiff is bad. The only reason I would be bringing them in, Shaw in, is because I don't like Duffy for game week. Look, it's even perfect, guys. It's perfect. It's so annoying. Look, Duffy, he has Arsenal and Man City, game week 37, game week 38. Shaw has 2 glorious fixtures on paper, Huddersfield and Cardiff. It's such a no-brainer and I have exact money in the bank to do it. I would not recommend doing this to anyone. And I've obviously got a week to think about it. But yeah, I just don't like Man United players at all. I could even go Firmino to Rashford and Duffy to Virgil van Dijk, and that sounds so much better. But I just can't see Man United getting back on their feet and actually scoring goals after the 4-0, after the 2-0, the 2 shots on target in 2 games. Like, that's mind-bogglingly shit, and it's doing my fixture over form head in. Absolutely not a good time. So yeah, let's reassess after the Chelsea game. Next week I'm going to be telling you either, yep, no, we're 100% right, Man United, a no-go, they looked horrible against Chelsea, or signs of improvement, I think I'm going to do the Shaw thing, and then in game week 37 I'm going to tell you how much I hate myself for doing the Shaw thing. But that's my plan. So we'll reassess Man United. The last team I'm going to talk about before we move on to triple captain is these guys, is Crystal Palace. So their fixtures look amazing in this game. Let's see what their fixtures look like on my crystal clear filter chart. So we've got Everton, which we just talked about, is a hard game. Everton are decent. Who else we got? Cardiff and Bournemouth. Actually, before we get on, there's a few questions. Hello from New Zealand. I wouldn't use a final transfer on Shaw. Doherty has good fixtures 37 and Valerie has good fixtures 38. Agreed. See, there's some logic and I love the logic. The Valerie is... Doherty's great. Valerie's great. Southampton, as you can see in my little awesome thingy here, Southampton have one of the best and the best fixtures in the last thing. I do not need Shaw. I don't need Shaw. I don't need him. I don't need him. Keep telling me. Would you hold United players if you still had them, e.g. like Pogba or Rashford? Probably not, because there are so many better players. However, if I tell you to leave Pogba and then he goes and gets 2 more penalties, I'm going to be raging if you blame me. Because I told people to leave Pogba behind. I left Pogba behind. He gets 2 penalties and I get called an idiot. No, I'm almost certain that Pogba is a bad pick because he's just... his mind is elsewhere. His mind is on Real Madrid. His mind is on Valencia in the summertime with sandals on and a stupid hat. His mind is not on Chelsea at home. There's something going on there behind the scenes. Mourinho saw it and he got chastised. OGS is now doing the same thing and he's came out and apologised to the fans, doing it with a smile on his face, and they're all behind him, but he's saying the same thing. There's something happening behind the scenes. The players are being lauded and put up on this pedestal, and the poor manager is getting, chucked to pieces. And I don't like it. And the fans are starting to see it. Like, this can't just keep happening. They need to do something with the players. So we'll see what happens there. I don't think I would hold any of the big price players. I'm willing to spend 5 million on Shaw because I have Duffy and I'm not going to use Duffy at all, so it's an okay trade, but I definitely wouldn't be bringing in Pogba or Lukaku or Rashford because they're just going to hurt your heart in the end. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. We'll reassess next week. Next time. Just quickly before Crystal Palace, or not before Crystal Palace, before Triple Captain, let's look at Crystal Palace. Everton, difficult game. Cardiff, like we said, difficult game. The only reason that you would want them is Bournemouth. But people keep saying Cardiff have good fixtures. Crystal Palace have good fixtures. Crystal Palace are a shoe-in. Crystal Palace, you should bring in Benteke or their defenders or whatever. Like, that's... Cardiff made it difficult for Liverpool. And that was... Liverpool, second place, right? Crystal Palace are actually like 15th or something. They're not doing that great. Yeah, they beat Arsenal. They look great, but Arsenal have been playing shit, and Cardiff have been playing well, and I don't expect them to get too many points. There's not a lot of points there, and we're looking for points, not wins. Everton, we've just talked about how they're actually ridiculously good and in form right now, and I don't think that they're going to be getting many points for that. So it's really only Bournemouth in Game Week 38. And if that's the case, we can just watch and wait and see what happens with Crystal Palace. Obviously, we like Zaha. We love Benteke because we like a good, feel-good story, him coming back and scoring goals. I would love to bring him in. FPL General, like I already said, I listened to his podcast and he is thinking about bringing him in. But he is 300k and he's looking to just have some fun. And if that's the case, go get Mendy, go get Benteke, go get Lukaku, just go mental. But if you're looking to kind of stay the course, then I would just wait it out. Let's see what Everton brings Crystal Palace. Let's see how they do against Cardiff. Let's see where Cardiff are. Let's see where Brighton are by Game Week 37, and then make our assessments. We don't actually have to jump on anything just yet, especially with Crystal Palace having their worst of their 3 fixtures in Game Week 36. Okay, that is Game Week 36 to 38. If you have any questions for any other players or any other teams, I'm probably just going to tell you that I don't like any of these teams, going from here all the way up to kind of here. and then we don't like them. Iffy on Tottenham. Definitely don't like them. Definitely don't like them. They're playing shit. I just talked about them. Definitely not Fulham. We talked about Man United. We're not going to bring in Southampton, but we probably all have 3, so win-win there. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Triple captain. I don't know what I'm going to do with triple captain. There are a few games that I would want to use my triple captain in. I would always assume that game week 38 is the best time to use it. If fixtures weren't a thing and it was just when is the best game week, it would be the game week that means the most to a team. And imagine Liverpool were playing City in the last game of the week, right? Something like that. Really quickly, Liam says what to do with Laka. Firmino. Keep him, because he's got okay fixtures and he's the hardest working player and he seems to be nailed. Who else? Jimenez, like I said, is a real rank killer, and there he is at the top of the thingy. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take any hits right now. No hits. So yeah, we're going into the end of the season, and triple captain I would assume would be game week 38 if fixtures weren't a thing, but they are a thing, and we have 4 games that I would think about. Now I'm going to take Tottenham out of it. I'm going to take every other team out of it and just Liverpool and just City, because I believe that they have the highest ceiling for points, and they're the only team that are consistent. Son might be okay and Eriksen might be okay, but are they consistent enough that you would place a triple captain on them this week over Mane or Salah? The answer is probably no, so therefore there are no other good fixtures for Tottenham that we would take other than West Ham. So let's just get rid of them out of our minds right now. So all that's left is Liverpool versus Huddersfield, or Sterling versus Burnley. You've also got hold on, I've got them right here. City versus Leicester and City versus Brighton. So there is 1 Liverpool game, there are 3 City games that I would consider. I'm saying Sterling away versus Burnley because simply I don't think Aguero is a good triple captain candidate for an away game. And if you're going to do it in game week 36, then it probably wouldn't be Sterling anyway. You're probably going to go for Mane or Salah versus Huddersfield, because just on paper that's amazing. They're already relegated. It's a must-win game. Salah's back from New York. I don't know why I was in New York. I do know. He was in Time, right? It was Time magazine. If you don't have him, it's probably Mane. And yeah, every single person and their granny is going to be triple captaining Mane or Salah this game week. So that top 10k, and if you can see it on my screen right now, Mane is 53% owned and Salah is 22% owned, so double. Now it's a bit less in the top 100k. Triple captain Mane intensifies. You've said it a lot. I've seen it. It's funny. So Salah is a lot less owned. So if Salah goes nuts and you've triple captained Mane, it's going to be a lot less hurt than if you triple cap Salah and Mane goes nuts. Just because of the ownership and the price difference. So for game week 36, I think that it's imperative that if you want to stay the course and you want to keep what rank you have and you don't want to fall behind, stick with the pack and go with Mane or Salah. If you only have Salah, easy choice. If you only have Mane, easy choice. If you have both of them, it's a 50-50, and I would base it on overall ownership, I think, or effective ownership. Yeah, I definitely would. I'd probably pick Mane if I had both of them. And that's hard to say because I love Salah. I think he's doing great. I think he is going to play well. But it's a choice of either or lose a lot or lose a little. as worst case scenario. And if you have both, you're going to get his haul anyway. You're just going to lose out on a third of the points that other people get. So it's not even a huge difference. The only reason that I would probably not captain Mane this game week is if I was behind in my mini league, I was behind the overall rank that I wanted to be, and I'm looking for a differential triple captain pick. So that means that versus Brighton at the end of the season for Aguero or Sterling probably, considering the away form. Where's City there? So Brighton or the Leicester game. Leicester, are they actually playing anyone ahead? So they're playing Arsenal. So we can actually use the Arsenal game to see how Leicester set up defensively against a top 6 team and use that to judge if we're deciding against going for a Liverpool captain game week 36 or a triple captain. So if you've decided, right, I'm going to be differential, I need to get 50 points by the end of the 3 game weeks, and if I do Mane and all my mates do Mane and they do well, I'm still in the same position for game week 37 and 8, I just have 2 less weeks. Or I could risk it all and leave Mane and go for Sterling or Aguero in game week 37 or Sterling game week 38, right? If you've made that decision and that is you, then awesome. I would then be heavily interested in watching the Leicester Arsenal game to see how Leicester line up, because if they line up like super attacking the way that they have done with Rodgers in the past, the way that Rodgers plays every single other team that he's ever managed, then absolutely 100% I would captain them here, and I can't circle it enough. It's actually quite therapeutic. I'm just gonna keep doing that. The Leicester game. If, however, Leicester decide, you know what, I'm gonna actually we're gonna stay back a bit, then awesome. That immediately says to me, let's wait for game week 38. And the longer you wait to do it, the more information you have. Brighton could be safe, makes Brighton a much easier call. If it turns out that Brighton are still not safe and they're going to be fighting for their life, it means you at least can maybe double check to see who you want to captain in Man City, whether it be Aguero or maybe Laporte or whoever. I'm not a big fan of doing defenders, but I can see why a Brighton a defender City versus Brighton would be a good idea in that case, right? But we have more information, which is key. So you either decide right now I'm going to triple captain Mane or Salah and just go for gold, or I'm going to wait and watch the Arsenal game and then make my decision after the Arsenal game with Leicester on if I'm captaining game week 37 or game week 38, and I'll go over it next week. So no matter what happens, with my own captaincy, I'll tell you if I think Leicester are shoo-in for points for City or maybe wait for Brighton. I am probably, because of what I've said, I'm a man of my word. I am okay with my rank 2,164. Absolutely 100% not looking to go higher, just looking to stay in the top 10k, top 5k, top 3k. That's just stay still, don't fall anymore, because I aimed very high and then I ruined it with some bad choices for the wild card. There's a lot of good learnings for next year, and we'll go over that at the end of the season. But for right now, I will probably be triple captaining Mane, and I haven't done it yet. I'm going to be thinking about it all night, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow. But I don't have Salah, so it's an easy choice for me. It's either Mane or nothing this game week. I'll be captaining him regardless. So yeah, tell me what you think about that. That's kind of my logical step-by-step guide on why you should or shouldn't do it. So really, you don't really have a choice. There's no choice in it. You either are okay with staying where you are in the overall rank, so therefore you're going to go for Mane or Salah, or you want to jump up, you're not happy with it right now, and you're going to go for a City player in game week 37 or 38. Burnley is an option, but I think Leicester and Brighton are better options. Burnley are safe, so you might say that they're better than Brighton, but I think Leicester are better than Burnley, and if Brighton aren't safe, they're also better than Burnley. So I'd probably leave it for now and go for a captain on on Liverpool, regardless of if you decide to triple captain or not. So yeah, so there's all the options. I hope that made sense. I talked for a long time there. Let's do some let's do some rate my teams. Oh, I think I kind of convinced myself to triple captain Manny as well, talking through that. It's very therapeutic, by the way. I don't know, we'll do rate my teams, so just send me them on Twitter and I'll have a look at them now. If you've got any questions, send them along as well and I'll have a look. And we'll do some of the ones that have came through. Also hit 600 followers today. That's kind of cool. So yeah, just send me in your teams and any questions that you've got, and I'm gonna take a little break and tell you a story. So this is my first ever time playing this game seriously. Last season I made a team, or my first ever season, 2016-17, and I made my team and left it, and I came like 4 millionth. Yeah man, Liam, send your team, no worries. Adil, I see your team there, I'll have a look at it. We don't get much, there's not much chat, I'll be there, don't you worry. So yeah, so 2016-17, I made my team, left at the end of the season, and I think I got like 4 millionth or something, right? Just didn't know anything. I was like, this is boring. All my mates stopped playing after 4 weeks, whatever. Last season, my mates were like, let's put 20 quid into it, and there was 5 of us, so it's 100 quid at the end. So I made an effort and I made some changes and stuff, and ended up just winning at the end because I googled FPL advice and found the scout and made some transfers based on their little they've got like a who's best for each goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, whatever, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'll just bring in everyone to the top. And I literally just wildcarded, I think, and used my wildcard to get the top 4 people in every position or whatever, and I was like, yeah, that's good, and then left it, and I just beat out because every single person I know is a casual FPL player. This year I started a new job a few years past, and so I didn't really know anyone. And this year, some of the guys came and said that they play FPL. They put in a £5 a month. The winner at the end gets majority of it, but you can also win money every month depending on who does the best. And I was like, that's like 300 quid. I could win 300 quid just for playing the game. And I was like, right, okay. And I was like, right, let's do this. I didn't know that money mattered in this game. I didn't know that value changed. I didn't know that you could find out when the price changes, even though it's kind of obvious when you think about it that there's going to be a price change at some point. But I didn't know that until like game week 4. I didn't know that there was a subreddit. Loads of stuff. But I tried really hard. I put lots of effort into it, and I researched the shit out of every single game. And yeah, my first game week was like 97 points, and I was at the top of the mini league, and I got that adrenaline rush, and I was like, fucking yes, let's keep going. And now I am first in that league, and I can actually show you the league because I'm streaming, and this is not just a story. This is live, real life stuff. So this is that league that I'm talking about, corporate services, my work league, and yeah, can you guys see that? 2235 is me, and then second place is 1991. Matt is, you guys can't see it there, he is 300,000, which is really good for a casual, right? He's actually really good, but it's just that extra oomph, that extra research. And the only reason that I did that extra research is because I was listening to a few podcasts on the Wednesday, and all the teams had already been, you know, all the prices had already changed on the Tuesday, the Monday, the Sunday. All the advice that they were giving didn't matter because I'd already made my decisions. And even though every single time they were saying, oh hey, you should probably wait till Friday to make your decisions, like I'd lose out on a lot of value, and I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. So I decided to do this Monday after stuff because I couldn't find any definitive place where all the information that we had found over the weekend was. And because I've been doing that every single week, I had to do the research for it, which meant I had to learn about what was going on, and it just made every single decision a little bit more informed. And then here we are, 2,164. This is really my first season playing properly. Last season didn't know prices changed, and that's big, right? So yeah, so that's a little bit about me. That should give you guys enough time to send all your Twitter stuff. So let's go right off the bat. Bam, 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 bam. So you guys are really following a noob. I have never played this game before properly, and you guys are watching a stream on a Thursday night at 9:30, listening to me. That's pretty cool, eh? So you guys see that? Awesome, you guys see that. This was sent by David. Hey Dave, thanks for streaming every week. 1 free transfer, 1.6 in the bank. Still have my triple captain triple captain chip. Okay, so you don't have Salah and you don't have Mane, so therefore your decision for your triple captain is very easy. You're going to pick either Sterling or Aguero next week or at the end of the season. Easy peasy. You can afford Mane for Eriksen, but Eriksen's been playing well. But you're actually tripled up in defense anyway. I would probably leave that. I think that's a great decision. Best defense in the league, triple up. Can't go wrong there. Laporte is great. Duffy and Valerie can swap. They can swap when you need to. Sterling, Jota, Son, Eriksen, great. Ward-Pros on the bench. Llorente on the bench. Jimenez and Aguero. I think your team is fantastic. I really like it. I don't think I can see nothing wrong with it. You're going to lose out on a few points if Mane scores. You're going to be losing out on a few if he scores a lot, because triple captain is going to happen no matter what. Salah is the same but a little bit less. If you triple captain this week, you might avoid some of the hurt, but I think that there are better Man City game weeks to do your triple captain. So I would just captain Sterling because it's away. Instead of Son. Son's versus Man United. West Ham United. The only thing I would say about Tottenham is that they are playing Ajax 2 days after their West Ham game. So even though Son is eligible and he's not allowed to play against Ajax and he's the only nailed on attacker for West Ham, he might not have Eriksen. They might rest him. He might not have Ali beside him. They might rest him. So he's playing with Llorente and Luka Moura, maybe. He's lost his assets around him. They're going to be resting Trippier. They're going to be resting Rose. All their key players that need a wee bit of a rest, they're going to rest them, and then Son's going to be sitting there by himself. Now, granted, it's West Ham who concede the most shots in the game, in the Premier League right now. They are the worst. So it is a good idea, but just know that if he doesn't have Eriksen, if he doesn't have Ali, if Trippier is rested, etc., you could be faced with, Son on his own up there. As far as your team, for that 1.6 million, I can't really see anything better to do. I think that I would probably get rid of Son or Eriksen for game week 37, simply because Son's now eligible. Ajax Part 2 for the semi-finals is coming in, and you could upgrade Jimenez against Liverpool's at the end, right? So you might not want him to go against your triple captain or your triple threat at the back, your Liverpool defence. So that might be something to do. So you could get rid of Jota and Jimenez if you save up 2 free transfers and use them to bolster your squad for the last game of the season. But I would definitely save for now. Your team is looking fine. It's looking excellent for game week 36. So well in, mate. You're flying. You must have had an amazing game week 35. Let's look at another one. I'm going to leave my 100 points there while I go and get another one. 2164, got to be doing something right. You're damn right. Right, James, sent your team in. Let's have a look at this. So a lot of things going right, a lot of things I would maybe change. You have Digne, who is definitely should be in the front of your team. I would take Rondon out or Wilson out. Wilson and Rondon are both playing teams that have to win to stay up. So whoever you like more, I would get Digne in there, and I think I would probably base it on overall ownership, right? So if Wilson's heavily owned, you might want to keep him. And if Rondon's more owned, I can't see that happening. Then keep him in. But Digne is sure set. The only thing, obviously, and you've recognized that by putting him in to your bench, is that he's away to Crystal Palace. But he is a definite asset, and I would keep him. And he has shown that he can score against, or at least get a clean sheet against anyone, and they're flying right now. So form over fixtures for the last 3 game weeks, I would consider him a must in your team potentially. Adil says, other way to look at it is we've gotten on board the Dave train before you blow up and have 100k subs. And then I start charging you guys, and then I make money, and I can quit my job, and I can just sit here and talk shit for like 3 hours a week, and that would be the life. Coming soon, season 2. Yeah, so thanks for that. It's a really nice thing to say. Going back to this, Laurie's absolutely fine, Laporte's fine, Eriksen, Son's fine for now. I would think about maybe moving them on. You have very little City, so Eriksen to Sterling, I would heavily consider for game week 27. 0.9 in the bank, feeling really missing some City attacking coverage. You are. So if you hold fast just now, because Eriksen and Son are playing West Ham, and if they both play, I'm sure they'll get points. Put Digne on the pitch somehow. Captain Salah. You've got your Robertson. You've got your Van Dijk. You've got Laporte. All the action's going to be on the Liverpool side. All the captains, all the triple captains are going to be sitting there for Liverpool. So even if City score and Sterling scores, Aguero scores, yeah, you're going to lose out in some points, but not many people are going to be captaining them, so you should be okay in that regard. Pogba, I hate. He's playing Chelsea, you could get rid of him. If you wanted to, you could downgrade Pogba just now to someone like Jota or Deulofeu, whoever you need to, and save the money to do Son to Sterling for game week 37, or Eriksen, depending on who you want. I'd probably do Son. Eriksen's more nailed than him. The only reason Son's not going anywhere for anyone's team is because of that yellow card. But by game week 37, he is now a rotation risk. So definitely, I would probably pick Son if I had to do that. I'm probably going to get rid of Son game week 37, but we'll come to that next week. Your bench is fine. Johnny's there. I like Johnny better than Pogba, just not for this week. Yeah, I would probably start setting up the idea to get Sterling, but the thing to remember is to not take any hits, guys, because with hits you're bringing in players. Just saw that you were streaming, Dorito, just send me your team, man. We're doing RMTs, but I've got some knowledge for you, right? I've got some hard hitting facts. -4s are amazing in game week 1. They are shit game week 38. Why? Because you have one game to make that -4 count, whereas in game week 1 you have 38 weeks to make that count, right? So we are closer to the end. That doesn't look like the end to you guys. The end, then the start. So game week 36, a hit is worth a lot more. It's a lot worse to take a hit now than it was back then. Even hits last week for a double game week were a much better idea than doing it now. So I would heavily consider not taking hits. So in that case, let's set up a Pogba move, get him out, or an Eriksen move out, whatever you're comfortable with. But I don't think I would do that because home against West Ham is so good. They should rattle them. I want to see 5-0. I want to see West Ham crying. Pogba out, save the money, get Sterling next week. Miss this week, not a huge deal. You've got Laporte, who's the king, and probably saved your double game week score. He outscored both Sterling and that Aguero. Yeah, and Fraser, I mean, he's stuck in your first thing. I probably would keep him there unless you're downgrading Pogba to someone who you can swap in without Fraser. But Fraser and Wilson, unfortunately, they're on the beach. They're probably not going to be doing too well. Having said that, 5-0 in Brighton. That was Brighton's wake-up call. It was just a shame that not many people had Wilson and Fraser for that. But you did. So they're well done. But yeah, your team's good. Just need that extra oomph, and Pogba versus Sterling is a no-brainer, right? Son rotation risk versus Sterling is a no-brainer. So let's sort that out. There you go, 100 points. Let's get the next person. Thank you so much for sending your team. Johnny was my double game week hero. Yeah, he was. You fucking lucky bastard. Liam, finally you can send me your team, and it's okay, because for a while there you had no chips and I didn't have anything for you. Right. Can you guys see that okay? Lindelof. I kind of like him now for game week 37 onwards. I know that it's a lot of an issue for bringing them in, but you already have him and he's sitting there, you might as well use him. Alexander-Arnold, Firmino, Mane is exact same as mine. You've got captaincy on Mane, that's great. Lacazette, he's sitting there, he's versus Leicester. Leicester have holes. I can see him doing bits for at least the last 3 game weeks. I don't know if I would do anything here. Doherty, yes, although I'm expecting him to concede. You have Jota and you have Deulofeu. I'd probably play Jota because Deulofeu is out of position. However, Deulofeu is home, Jota's away. That is difficult. You know what? I think you probably have the best team here right now. Actually, scrap that. You have Wan-Bissaka in against against Everton, and you have Guaita against Everton. You only need 1 goal to ruin 2 clean sheets there. So what I would probably do is I would take Wan-Bissaka out and I would put in Valerie, and then you could move your eggs, disperse them to different baskets, and if anything happens there, you're kind of golden. So Guaita and Wan-Bissaka, you only need 1 of them in. You're not going to play Hammer versus Liverpool, so you need Guaita. It's a no-brainer. Let's take Wan-Bissaka, bring him out of there, throw on Valerie instead, and hope that he can play well against Bournemouth, who are on the beach, and play out their minds because they're not on the beach yet. Southampton are still potential to go down mathematically. As for transfers, I think I would probably keep my transfers just now, and potentially next week you could do Son downgrade and Lacazette to Aguero upgrade. I think that would be a great idea for you. I think you should save a transfer so you can go Son to someone, downgrade him, and you've already got Jota and Deulofeu, so you could actually go really low. You could go Son to any bench fodder. You have Jota, so you'd have Wan-Bissaka, Alexander-Arnold, and Doherty on your 3, and then you'd have Mane, Sterling, Jota, and Deulofeu, and you'd have Jimenez, Firmino, and Aguero. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a great team. I think you're so close to a good team there. So just save just now. Let's see. Let's hope Lacazette can get something against Leicester. Let's hope Son brings you the business against West Ham, and then let's ship them out, and we can reassess. I think that's probably what I would do. But for right now, diversify your defense, because Everton are just too good, and I'm pretty sure they'll probably score. So that goes for anyone who has a double thing right now. Unless you're Liverpool or City, it's probably not a good idea. We've learned our lesson with Leicester, haven't we? Alright, moving on. Thank you so much, Liam, for sending your team in, and for chatting, and for being here every week. You've been awesome, man. Appreciate it. And that goes for everyone who's been here, by the way. I started, I had 4 people watching every week. Now I have 10 at least every week. It's we haven't been streaming for very long, and next season I'm going to be going hard on this. I'm going to be production, everything's going to be fine. I'm not going to be confused by what game week it's going to be. You'll see, it's going to be amazing. I might even get a haircut. Who knows? It's going to be fantastic. Right, let's speed this up a bit. This team is from Tom. Tom's still here. I hope Tom's still here. And then we'll do a deal next. Mustn't forget about you, buddy. Tom, you have Foster, you have Boric. You've probably picked the right person just for now. And they're quite interchangeable, so that's fine. You've spent your money up front, as you can see. Vardy, Jimenez, Wilson. Laporte, I like Van Dijk, obviously. Shaw's a bit of an issue. I'd probably play Val. You know what? Doherty. Oh, I don't know. Valerie or Doherty. That's a tough one. Deulofeu, awesome. Salah, awesome. Mane, awesome. The thing that isn't awesome with Mane and Salah is you have to pick who you have to captain. And therefore, if you're picking who you have to captain, then you have the chance to get the wrong choice. I don't have to pick because I only have Mane. So if it goes wrong, I didn't have Salah to begin with. That's really difficult for you, buddy. It's a personal preference, and no one can help you with that. If you think Salah's going to go ham, go for it. If you think Mane is, go for it. I wish you all the best. I hope Salah doesn't score because I don't have him. Son, same thing that I've been talking about here. Great asset for Game Week 36, terrible asset for Game Week 37. If he's playing West Ham, everyone else is playing Ajax, and then he goes and plays against the whoever he's playing Game Week 37, it's an iffy thing. I would probably monitor that. Vardy, you've kept him this long. He's done well. Might as well keep him against Arsenal, but I would definitely not keep him for going forward. There isn't many players who to bring in. However, we do know that Zaha and Benteke or whoever. I'm pretty sure now Benteke will probably keep his place because he's not loaned out, whereas Bats is. So probably going to be keeping his spot. Potentially moving Vardy on for Zaha frees up funds to get Son to Sterling, for example. That would be awesome for your team. In actual fact, I would probably do that. I would keep my shit. I would keep my free transfer and move Son and Vardy for Sterling and Zaha, or Sterling and Benteke if you can't afford Zaha. That sounds good. That sounds good to me. Wilson's fine in there for now. You're not really going to be changing him because you've already got your transfers set up there. If Sterling is who you want, I mean, he could get injured next game, who knows. So obviously I monitor, but I think that's probably what I'd do, try and get Sterling as best. Just flipping the coin. Let's flip a coin. Shall we do it right now? Let's get a coin. Oh, live on stream coin. Do I have any in my pocket? No, I don't. I'm going to go get you a coin. Let's flip it. Let's see. I was also tempted to get another drink, but didn't want to leave you guys waiting. So, this is a £2 coin from Scotland, and heads, this side's heads for you guys. Heads is Salah, and Mane is tails. You ready? This is for your captaincy. Well, I'm a bit nervous for you. Let's do it. Now, before I do this, what did you want it to land on? What did you want it to land on? If you wanted it to land on heads, then just go for that. Because once it gets to the top, before you get to see it, your brain automatically says, I hope it lands on X or Y, or heads or tails. Your brain already decides for you. So I haven't showed you what this is yet, but you know what one you wanted to land on, Tom. You know what one you wanted to land on. I don't even want to show you this. I don't think I'm going to show you this. Ooh. Should I show you? Right, but I would pick, just before I show you this, pick what you wanted it to land on, not what it does land on. We're not leaving this to fate. We're leaving it to what we want to do. That is heads, my friend. That is Salah. Egyptian god. That is the queen telling you to pick Salah. But don't go with what that says. Go with what you wanted it to be when it hits the top. You wanted to be Salah. Yes! Yes, you did. Perfect. Well done. See? Everyone wins. It picked Salah. You wanted to be Salah. Awesome. Right. that's the team. I think we've covered it. I think we've done it. Your team's sorted. I'm so pleased for you. Oh, that's funny. All right, let's do the next one. I've got a few more to go. Oh, I wanted to do a deal. Okay, so a deal has. He's not on the screen. He's on the chat. So if you guys scroll up a bit, he's there. I'll actually post his thing again for people who might have just came in. That was funny. All right, Laurie, Robbo, love them. TAA, Laporte, that's absolutely fine with me. Valerie Bednarak on the bench is good. Sterling, Eriksson, Son, De La Feu, all good. Jota on the bench, absolutely fine for now because De La Feu's home. Absolutely. Tom, blame this stupid coin. It's going to be my train fare tomorrow if I decide not to cycle in because it's Friday and I usually go out. Blame it. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to you. It's going to buy me a pint and I'm going to drink to Salah because I'll be going out by the time that they're playing. Sorry, I'm taking ages to do this, by the way. I'm just having a good time. I'm just like chilling. But if I'll quicken. I'll shut up. Aguero, Jimenez, Ings, 1.9 million in the bank, free transfer, straight swap Eriksson to Mane, or -4 for Eriksson to Salah, Jota to 4.0, triple captain in Liverpool. I don't like hits, I've explained, no hits, so therefore let's not do that. Currently 150k, looking to finish within 100k, wondering if Salah is enough of a differential considering most people in the top 10k have Mane. I don't think you need a differential at 150k. If you have a good week, even with a template team, all the people that have picked differentials in front of you, if they don't pay out, 50k people could be less points than you and you could jump. That's kind of how it works, right? So if you have 11 players that are the most highly owned players in those positions, you don't have no differentials. Your differential is no differentials. Every single other person that picks a differential that doesn't work, you are then beating them because your differential is, potentially hauls, right? So, or your non-differential potentially hauls. So if you have every single player, that's kind of hard to conceive. I understand that, but it worked for me to get into the top 1k, and that I just made sure that my team was like the most owned that I could, and then anyone who tried to be fancy kind of fell behind me because all the owned players that I had that was heavily owned did well. And then I did the exact opposite with my wild card and I fell back again. So if you actually, a £2 pint is going to go towards a bourbon. I don't know if you've noticed, I drink bourbon and I'm not, it's £2.80 in Wetherspoons for a Buffalo Trace and Coke. So there you go. I'll find 80 pence somewhere, don't you worry. Also, I haven't been to uni in like 5 years. I am actually 26. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so if I would 150k, everyone's going to be looking to get differentials. I would probably go for the highest owned players and just hope for the best, really, because if you bring Salah and then Mane pulls, you're going to be ended up 200k. Like in one game week. So you have 3 game weeks for your non-differentials to take place. Yeah, always assume the closer you get to a chance to 100k, the more template coverage there is. That's absolutely 100% true. But in your case, you are fighting against all those other players that would be fighting for 50k, fighting for 10k by using differentials. If you shield your entire team, it's more likely, yes, that you don't move a huge amount, but you will move in the right direction if every single player hits. Do you know what I'm saying? So let's look at your team again. Laurie, shield, Robbo, shield, TA, shield, potential to be substituted, so watch out for that, but you're not going to take them out now. So Laporte, shield, Sterling, shield, Eriksson, Son, shield, De La Feu is a differential, but highly owned, so that's fine and fair enough. Aguero, Jimenez, shield, Ings. You are absolutely fine right now. I wouldn't do a single thing. Your team is brilliant. So next week we can take out Son and we can take out Son and we can take out someone else and kind of upgrade there. We can look to be doing something. but I probably wouldn't do anything now. If you're 100% sure that you want to go for Mane, I wouldn't say no, because obviously I just said that you want to have the most shields that you can so that you don't lose out, and Eriksen is definitely not a shield as such. Eriksen and Son together, a shield against West Ham, probably a good shout, but Mane is the biggest shield of them all next week, and if you want to look at your triple captain, you can go for that. If you're wanting to look for, you have another option with your triple captain, is to just get Mane in, but hold off, hope that he doesn't haul, hope that Salah doesn't haul, and go for Sterling or Aguero, game week 37 or game week 38. So that's probably what I would do. Eriksen to Mane. Probably. I'd probably do that in your position. Okay. Let's do another one. Thanks for sending your team in, by the way. I know that Twitter sucks for you. That sucks for me. But thank you very much. Only going for Liverpool so I can triple captain, don't see other options. Well, Aguero, Sterling, game week 37 against Leicester is great. If Leicester decide to attack Arsenal, then great. Brighton is another great captaincy, probably just for Sterling because it's away. Only if Brighton are safe and or already relegated. There you go. Alright, let's look at this team. This team's been sent by Sean. Have 1.0 million in the bank. Either going to go Vardy, Firmino, or roll it. Unsure on which third defender and which fourth mid to start this week. Okay, I've went for Firmino. Kind of wishing I didn't, but I had enough money and his stats were good, and was hoping to get something in Cardiff. And then I learned a very hard lesson on you can't trust players playing for teams at the bottom, playing against teams at the bottom of the tables this late on. Having said that, Valerie or Johnny, if that's your toughest decision this week, you're doing okay. You've got Laurie, you've got Laporte, you've got Robertson, you've got Mane triple captain, Son and Eriksen's fine. The only thing you don't have is Sterling. Can we get to Sterling very easily? Vardy down, potentially. I mean, you've kept him this long. Your triple captain Mane. I can't say no to Firmino. I can't say no because I have him. But you have a potential to get another defender. But then again, if you were going to get another defender, you would need to wait till next week, and the guaranteed clean sheet is this week. And they play Wolves in game week 38. So potentially, Firmino might actually be better in the last two game weeks, which is the only ones you'd have the third defender in for, or the second defender, your third Liverpool player. So in that case, Firmino actually might be better to just get now. Let's look at the table, right? I don't know what your position is in, but I don't see Vardy's there at 15%. I don't see. No, I don't see Firmino anyway, which is crazy. Cathcart's even higher than him. So yeah, I don't see Firmino. So that means that it's actually safer to keep. Oh, where are you? It means it's safer to keep Vardy at least for one game. We can assess what's going on. And Arsenal are just all sorts of shit right now, right? They're just terrible. You're very tempted. You're very tempted for Firmino. I was very tempted for Firmino and got absolutely robbed last week. Let's just admit it. Got robbed. You missed that 2 point. You got Vardy's haul, right? So you're much higher in that respect. Other points in your team, I like your team a lot. I'm very, very sure that Watford are going to at least score one goal against Wolves. I'm not sure that Bournemouth are going to be trying against Southampton, but I definitely know Southampton are going to be trying against Bournemouth. So that means they might potentially be leaving some holes. So it's a toughie. It definitely is a toughie. Maybe just leaving it like that is, and maybe Wolves, because they're away, they shop and they do okay and they keep it to 0-0 or something. But they're not that great at defence. But neither Southampton, or they wouldn't be at the bottom. So it is a tough choice. You've captained Mane, you've triple captained Mane, which is what everyone should be doing if they want to stay where they are in their overall rank. So that's fine. Unless you're really, really, really high up, in which case, are not high up, really, really low, 150k, 250k, 300, 400, 500. People ahead of you, not many people are still going to have their triple captain. But thank you very much for sending your team in. Right, I've got a few more I've been sent in. James sent me their team. Right, I'm gonna bring in, these are the ones we're doing, and then we're gonna leave. Okay. Georgita, you sent your team in. I'm gonna put that up there. James and Georgita. Is there anyone else? Requests. Ovine sent in his team as well, so we're going to do that. Okay, and that's it. I think that's it for the teams. Yeah, because I got to be getting on. I'm going to go eat food. Alvaro Moya says, "Hi Dave, thanks for your analysis. I follow you on Twitter. Question: Trent Alexander-Arnold for Trippier worth it? Cheers from Chile, South America." Hello, South America, Chile, Alvaro. I don't think it's worth it because Trent Alexander-Arnold might be rotated, and so might Trippier. I think taking a transfer right now is risky. I think I would just hold, wait off, and see what's happening. I might screw you out of 20 points by saying that. You could get a hat-trick of hat-tricks again, but if I had Trent Alexander-Arnold, I'd leave it, and if I had Trippier, I'd probably leave it. However, if you can get Virgil van Dijk, I would go for it a million times over. If you can grab Virgil, or if you can decipher who else they're going to play at centre back, either Gomez or that other chap that I've forgotten the name of. So I would go for a centre back over Trent Alexander-Arnold for that guaranteed Huddersfield clean sheet, absolutely. But if you can't afford that, then I might just leave Alexander-Arnold out, or at least maybe wait for 1 minute until 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whatever it is, and wait for the team sheet and then try and do some trickery, because I know that's possible. Right, here is the first team that we're going to be looking at, and I've immediately forgotten who I'm looking at. I think it was Chris. No, James. This is James's. Okay, oh my goodness, this is really... Oh my goodness, this is massive. Right, here we go. Can we see that? Okay. Ederson I love, obviously. Got him in my team. Alexander-Arnold's fine. Duffy's fine this week. Valerie next week. Got perfect swappage for there. Vertonghen, love. He's in my team too. Ericsson, great. Salah, great. Mane, great. Jota, great. Llorente's fine. Aguero and Jimenez is great. Your team's fantastic. The only problem is, obviously, Ericsson is now a rotation risk with Ajax. Might even be able to swap him out with Sterling if we downgrade somewhere. I'd probably hold out just for now. Yeah, I think I'd probably hold out on him just now for Ericsson, and then look to downgrade someone, although you've kind of cut lots of stuff. Who could we downgrade? Ederson? No, we don't like that. Vertonghen, maybe? Vertonghen's not very heavily owned, but Laurie is, so you're missing out on points if you do that. I just really like Sterling, and I think that it's not good enough to not have him. Having said that, you could maybe downgrade Jota, because he's not super heavily owned. Downgrade Jota to Delfeu, then get Ericsson to Sterling, maybe, or just leave it the way it is and have Ericsson and hope that he does bits and plays 90 minutes despite the Champions League. We'll need to assess. Obviously, we're not going to do anything this week, no matter what. And if he is rotated this week, then we'll know that rotation is a thing. And if he's not rotated this week, then we know his 90 minutes a game is a thing. Does that make sense? Duffy and Valerie are the perfect swaps. I'm pretty sure Southampton have the best fixtures of everyone in game week 36 to 38, so that's fine. And you have your Salah and Mane. So the same thing applies with the coin thing. If you were watching, do your flip before it lands. Think of where you want it to end up on, and then don't look at the coin, and that's who you pick between Mane and Salah. That's how I do everything. It's 50-50. Because in the end, it's not 50-50. Your brain knows what it wants, you see. But your team's looking great. It's almost identical to mine. The only difference is I don't have Llorente. I have Firmino, and I don't have Salah. I have Sterling. I think that's the only difference. Eriksen, Son, etc. But the same teams, just slightly different players from the same teams. But yeah, thank you so much for sending your team in. Who's next? Georgita, 1.1 million in the bank. Forgot to mention. Thinking Laka to Firmino. I really like Firmino. I've been saying it quite a few times now tonight. Kolasinac is a bit of an issue with me because Arsenal defence are so absolute shit. Ryan versus Foster. Ryan at home against Newcastle's fine, and you can swap to Foster for the rest of the weeks. Although I'm pretty sure they're both shit in game week 37, so I don't know about that. Mane triple captain's fine. Son, Eriksen's fine. Delafeu's great. Jimenez great. Guerrero great. Lacazette. You could probably get Firmino. I would probably, if you could, you've got 1.1 in the bank. Kolasinac is 5. You don't have enough for. You don't have enough for another defender. You don't have enough for another defender. So unless you have 2 free transfers, which you don't, then you can't get another Liverpool defender. So you can't get a Liverpool defender. You don't have enough for Salah, obviously. So the only other way you can get a triple Liverpool player, if that's what you want to do, is get Lacazette to Firmino. And I think if you want to have 3 Liverpool players for the rest of the season, then that makes sense for your team. So I would probably do the exact same as you and just thank Lacazette and send him on his way. I think I would do that. I like that. I like it. I don't see any other problems with your team other than Kolasinac and your goalkeeper. So potentially, you've got Kiko, you've got Jota. But I don't know any other goalkeepers that are better than kind of Ryan and Foster at the moment. Maybe Guaita. After this, you could do Foster to Guaita next week. So Firmino now, kind of lose that. Hopefully Newcastle don't score. Keep the clean sheet from Ryan. Everyone's got Duffy in their team anyway, and they're probably playing him, so it's not too big of a deal if he doesn't keep his clean sheet. And then you can go for Guaita next week. Sound good? Sound fair? That sounds pretty good. I like that. I like that idea. Yeah, I like it. I like that idea. Thank you very much for sending your team. Liam, thank you very much for coming. Thanks for the advice, Dave. Can't afford VVD, so I'm keeping Trippier. Have a great game week. You too, man. If I had 1.1 more in the bank, I could do Cola till Forte. That would be sick. Oh, that would be sick. Wait, you could do Foster to Ederson. Ah, why didn't we see that? Foster to Ederson. Mate, do that. Foster to Ederson, you've got yourself your Laporte. And you don't have to put Ryan or Foster in this game week, and you don't need to put them in next game week. Mate, do that. Yeah, you've said it. You said it down there. Sorry, I just got your message. I can do Foster to Ederson. We came to the same conclusion. Sorry, I missed that. Yes, that's what I would do. Lacazette to Firmino can wait. Yes, damn right. That's a great shout. I would do that. That's making me more excited. Son out, Pogba or other Man United mid in for the last 2 game weeks. Son out, Pogba or other Man United mid for the last 2 game weeks. I don't like Pogba, but I don't like Son for the last 2 game weeks either. We'll need to reassess Manchester United after Chelsea, so I'll answer that question next week if that's cool. Yeah, so Georgita, definitely. Laporte, I think that's probably your best bet. Lacazette could still score against Leicester. I don't think Ryan will do much against Newcastle, and Foster for the next game week is not too good either. So I think that's a good shout, Ederson. He's who I'm playing anyway. Thank you very much for sending your team in. Right, this is the last one. So if you guys have any questions, we'll do a tiny bit of questions and then I'm going to go after this one. Ederson, love. Bolly, absolutely fine. Robertson, Alexander, Mane, that's good. Captains on Mane. We've talked about triple captain loads and loads and loads. Sorry, who sent this? This was the new person sent this. Hello. Ovind, I hope that's how you say it. Ovind. Fritzen. he says that he has 1.1 million in the bank, thinking Wilson out next week, Zaha, and potentially Son, Jota, someone else. Okay. Wilson out to Zaha, I like. So awesome. You've got Duffy and you've got Valerie, and you can swap them out with Bolly. I would actually probably take Bolly out and put Duffy in, because Duffy's going to be playing out of his life. He's going to go for that 1 point. Newcastle on the beach, and Bolly is playing Watford away, who has, you know, that 7th place fight, 1 point between them thing. So I would probably play Duffy, to be honest. Jimenez is great, Aguero's great, Man is great, Sterling's amazing. Son is fine this week, but you could probably take him out for Sigurdsson next week, or you can maybe save your money and do something else. Either way, I do like your shout for Crystal Palace striker. And De La Feu's great in there, and he should score against the rubbish Wolves defense. Yeah, your team's great. I would no qualms, man. You're doing well. You're doing really well. And I've accepted your DM, so just message me if you have any other questions. But yeah, that is us, man. Let's do some quick questions. Has anyone got any questions? I think we've been shouting them out roughly. Yeah, we've been going for ages, much longer than I wanted it to be. But we're just having so much fun with this bloody coin. I should bring this every time. But yeah, so anything else to say in my notes? Nope. So yeah, just thank you so much for watching. If you don't follow the stream every Monday. We've got 3 streams left, or 2 streams left now. And then we'll probably do an after stream, after thoughts for next season, the week after the final season. It's every Monday, usually, which is why it takes its name. However, Game of Thrones is on now, and I'm actually working a bit later on Mondays, so Mondays is no good. So we're going to be Tuesday, just hopefully before the Fantasy Football Scout guys do their stream, because they will absolutely take the audience away. So we'll do Tuesdays. We'll kind of try and do it a little bit early. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. If you haven't subscribed, then do that. If you want to talk on Twitter, I'm always on there, to the detriment of my sleeping pattern. And who do I want injured next week? Probably Salah. I'm just going to say it right now. As my final go back, I hope Salah gets injured, because I can't deal with him getting a hat-trick and me not getting the points. And anyone who has him, I hope he does well for you guys. So yeah, that's us. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Cheers. Also, what do you guys think of the new music? It's non-copyright. I like it. I like it. Thanks everyone for coming. Cheers.